So next we got the Z Meteor. Pretty straight flying disc. It's not real fast or anything, but you put it on a line, it'll hold it. Stays true, nothing too crazy, doesn't go too far left, too far right. All depends on how you release it. Next we have the Jawbreaker Wasp, which the wasps tend to be a little bit more stable, I believe. But in this Jawbreaker plastic, it seems to be a little bit more on the understable side. So once it beats in, I'm sure it's going to be a great turnover mid-range for me. You see it slightly drifted to the left, but eventually came back. Didn't come back too hard or anything, so like I said, once it beats in, I think it'll be really good for that understable mid-range shot. Now we have the Titanium Buzz, pretty straight flying disc. I have one in the Titanium, Z plastic, and then the Nate Doss signature. So we'll try this one out right now. So that one flies pretty straight. I put it on a little bit of a hyzer, as you can tell, and it held up. It kind of faded out to the left there. A little bit of headwind, but for the most part went exactly where I put it as far as what line I threw it on. Next we have the Nate Doss Buzz. Let's try this one out. So like I said, with all the other ones, whatever line you put it on, it's going to hold. It finished probably like 270 feet straight in front of me. Pretty simple, straight disc. I think it's going to be a really reliable disc that I can count on to have in my bag. Next is we have the Flex Avenger. Seems to be a little bit more on the stable side. I also have the ESP Avenger as well, and trying to figure out which one I like more, which one flies a little bit better for what I'm trying to use it for. So it flies pretty straight for the beginning, then obviously has that harder finish to the right. And we'll try the ESP next. Now we have the ESP Avenger. Throw this one a little bit stiffer than that flex plastic that the first one was. So that one threw a little bit better, had a little bit bumpier ride. We have a little bit of a headwind, so it kind of moved it around a bit. But just like the first one, had that harder finish at the end. The Titanium Undertaker. Straight, true. I love it. It'll be a perfect disc for a little bit more narrow fairways. It just flattens out and coasts the whole time. Now we're moving on to some of the faster drivers. Right now I have the ESP Crank. I also have it in the Z plastic. Thrown these ones a couple times. Trying to get used to them. It seems like if I grip lock it just a little bit or try to pull it over a little too hard, it seems to be a little bit more on the understable side, but let's try to put it one on a flat line and then one on a more of a hyzer line and see how they fly. This one with the ESP, I'll put this one on a little bit more of a hyzer line because I think it's going to be a little bit more understable than the Z plastic. So like I said, it tends to flip over just a little bit, do that little S turn, and then finally come back. Probably finish a couple feet to the left of where I'm standing here. Let's try the Z plastic next. So now we have the Z plastic Crank. Gonna try to throw this one right-handed. Try to throw this one a little bit more flat and see how this one flies. So that one I put on a little bit of a hyzer, but it's still flattened out, carried good distance, and obviously finished slightly to the left, but altogether pretty straight flying disc. The Team Discraft Stamp Crystal Stalker, really like this one. Fast, straight, very predictable. So caught a little bit of that wind coming in, that headwind, so it did kind of want to turn it over slightly, but it was able to fight its way back and end up pretty much dead straight. So now we have the Big Z Force. Paul's been throwing a lot of these ESP Forces. He seems to like them a lot. I've been trying to get used to them, try to see what they're really going to do when I throw them, especially in this Big Z plastic. See what they'll do in this little bit of headwind. So it had a little bit of a understable flight for the most part, kind of went back to the left, but then eventually came back, finished straight. Doesn't seem like too stable in a headwind, but flew pretty good. I'm sure if it was no wind, it'd be a little bit more stable. So next we have the nukes. I have a Big Z nuke and a Glow nuke. Threw the nukes a little bit when I first started playing. Wasn't a big fan of the bigger rim on these, but obviously since I've grown up, grew like at least 2 inches since then, so I can kind of fit my hand around this disc. But so far I like them, get really good distance. With the Big Z, it's a little bit more understable than the Z plastic, but yeah, let's try these out. So with that one, the Big Z nuke, like I said, it's a little bit more understable. Did kind of pull it a little bit, so it faded out to the left and eventually came back, but kind of finished farther on the right side. Wind kind of died down a little bit for that one, so I think that's going to be one where if I need to put a big hyzer and have it flatten out, that'll be the disc to choose.